we're a few days away.
By the way, here we go with this guy. Go ahead, let's go. Let's hear the question.
We're a few days away from the end of the fiscal year and a potential shutdown.
Right.
Is there going to be a government shutdown?
Could be, yeah, because the Democrats are crazed. They don't know what they're doing. They want to have the border opened up so that criminals can pour in. You know, we're doing unbelievable borders closed and people are coming into our country legally. They continue to want to have men and women sports. They continue to want to have transgender for everyone. They want to raise everybody's taxes at a number that's not sustainable. It's the only time in the world I've ever seen a party that wants to raise taxes. You know, I grew up in a family where I'd watch politics, and I always liked it from the time I was very young, but I'd always see politicians say, we will lower your taxes. These guys, they campaign on raising your taxes, but they want to raise taxes very substantially.
The one thing they're concerned about, I mean, look, Republicans have total control of Washington. You guys have control of the House, the Senate, there's you.
Well, when you say control, so we need 60 votes for this, and we have 53 Republicans, so we need 7 Democrats.
And those 7 Democrats and others are asking for an extension of a tax credit on people who get the Affordable Care Act and some other government-backed health care. So are you willing to negotiate on that
what they're
issue?
really asking for is they want to pay for illegal aliens that have come into our country by the millions and get onto the rolls, and they want to pay. And our people don't want to do that. Our people are taxed enough. You know, we just approved the largest tax decrease ever in the history of our country, including the extension of the previous Trump tax cuts. The tax cuts that we just approved, they want to use those tax cuts to give the money to illegal aliens, people that came into our country illegally and that are leaving the country.
So
you know, there's been a self-deportation because of what we've been doing that's been...
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the government may be about to shut down. So basically, the funding for the government expire here shortly. I think September 30th. So basically, what happens is the Senate has to have 60 votes to pass the budget. There's not 60 Republicans. So that means some Democrats have to vote for this budget. The Democrats basically said, what we gonna get for our vote? We not just giving y'all our vote just because. Like, we got to negotiate, which is typical of the process because, you know, you have to negotiate to get these people vote. Trump said he ain't negotiating, just do it without the Democrats. Thing is, you can't do it without the Democrats because you need 60 votes. They don't got 60 votes. So now the White House and Trump them saying that, oh, well, if the government shut down, we're just going to fire a whole bunch of federal workers, and they're instructing their agencies to create a mass firing plan. This is because the Republicans don't want to negotiate the budget, which they should do because they need Democrats to pass it. Yeah, and the reason that the government always is about to shut down is because instead of creating a budget and doing the appropriation process like they're supposed to, they just keep on doing continual resolutions, which is basically just kicking it down the road.
It's always something with this administration. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So credit goes to the creators in these videos. Guys, when a government shuts down happens, like the one that is about to happen in the United States, the people that get affected are not the lawmakers in Congress. They are not the officials inside the White House. The ones who carry the real weight of this are the ordinary men and women who work for the federal government. And these workers are the backbone of national life. I'm sure you agree with me. The ones who suffer the most are these people. I mean, they are the ones that check the travelers at the airport. They are the ones that guard the prisons. They are the ones that test the safety of food and medicine. They are the ones that process the passports, the documents that millions of Americans need. And when shutdown happens, everything changes. And now, contrary to what always happens when there's a shutdown, they are saying that this time is going to be a massive layoff of these workers, which means that when the economy or when the shutdown stops, these people are not allowed to come back to work. These federal workers are told to leave their posts, and in some cases, they might even be there and be working without pay. And for all the families that depend on these jobs, guys, it just feels as if the ground is pulled from under their feet because their paycheck would vanish and they will be forced to start living on their savings. That is if they have any. And this impact comes hard, it comes fast, it comes without warning. These are people that live from paycheck to paycheck, and suddenly they'll find themselves in crisis. Their rent is due, their bills for electricity, gas, water, and they have children to feed. And the parents will be looking at themselves, they'll be looking at their bank accounts with fear, wondering how long exactly are they going to last without an income. Guys, they will turn to credit cards, start borrowing, going to line up at food banks, charities, and all of that, guys. And most of the time, these people are always caught in the political crisis that they did not cause, even though some of them voted for this. But looking at those that did not vote for this, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because the shutdown is not just a story for these federal workers alone, it's also for communities around them. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let's see what these other creators have to say.
A big warning from the White House Wednesday night, telling federal agencies to prepare for mass layoffs if the government shuts down next week. This is the memo sent from the Office of Management and Budget released on Wednesday night, saying that agencies should plan for a reduction of force. That's not a furlough. Those are permanent job cuts and the elimination of positions. This action a lot more aggressive than what we've seen in past years. In previous shutdowns, non-essential workers were sent home temporarily and returned once funding was restored. And this time, the Trump administration wants agencies to keep only the minimal number of employees necessary to carry out statutory functions. We've been following the federal job cuts for some time. The OPM director saying that by the end of the year, 300,000 jobs, federal jobs, would be cut. We'll keep you posted, let you know how things work out on Capitol Hill. Like and follow.
Breaking news from the federal government. Politico reporting tonight that the Trump administration is warning agencies that if a federal shutdown happens next week, to prepare for mass firings. This memo goes beyond the standard reduction in force furloughs that usually happen, and this puts a lot of pressure on lawmakers to get a deal done by that September 30th deadline. We will stay on top of this and have much more. Of course, this comes on the heels of already mass firings since the president took office early, affecting those federal agencies. Hundreds, if not thousands, of federal employees already laid off when the administration came into power. And of course, that has a huge impact right here in the DMV on the workforce. We'll have much more.
Communities will also suffer, because when a worker loses pay, the businesses around loses customers. Restaurants will begin to see fewer diners, and grocery stores will see fewer basket loads. And let's not even talk about small businesses that are already struggling to survive. And the little income that they have with the little customers that are coming in, they will end up losing it. And the effect just spread outwards and outward like ripples in water. Landlord will face tenants that cannot pay rent in time, and banks will also face people that cannot even pay back their loans in time. And in many towns, right, federal workers are some of the most stable, the most reliable members of the community. So when they lose their income, the whole local economy will feel the shock. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section, because this stress that is about to be caused by the US government, it's going to spread from home to home, and it's going to just create a climate of fear and uncertainty, guys. And the pride that once came with, serving a government that said it was going to care about you, it was going to, support you and all of that, will just turn into anger, disappointment. And now that they're saying that, okay, when this shutdown happens, it does not guarantee your job, because instead of being let go temporarily and you have to come back when the shutdown is over, this time, federal workers are going to be let go permanently. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because this is deeper than what we think.
Told us how he's going to mass fire more people from the federal government, and he plans to use the government shutdown to do it. So we do have a federal government shutdown warning for October 1st, and while a bill to fund the government has passed the House, it does need 60 votes in the Senate, and Democrats are sticking hard to their belief of certain things they want included in the bill, including an extension of the Affordable Care tax credits that expire at the end of the year. Republicans don't want to do that, and they're fine with a government shutdown, because normally what they would do is furlough government workers and just temporarily say, hey, you're not working here, but you still have a job. Instead, Trump said, no, we're just going to go ahead and fire whoever we want, if the government shuts down, if you don't fund the government the way we want it to be funded. And this is probably why Trump canceled his meeting last week with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, was because the plan all along was to use this government shutdown to fire as many federal workers as possible if Democrats don't just cave and give them everything they want.
Y'all's president is out here doing what he does best, threatening that if the Democrats don't vote to keep the government open, it's going to be mass firings of federal employees, and claims that the firings will be permanent. They won't be furloughed. It won't be the normal thing that happens when there's a government shutdown. They're going to lose their jobs. And listen, what he's trying to do is back the Democrats into a corner. Because again, this is something that the Dems would care about normally. Ooh, we don't want people to lose their jobs. But how would that be any different than what he's been doing since January? Mass firing people. He's been mass firing people. How would this be any different? They're going to go to court. The court's going to say, you got to give these people back their job. You know how many people had to get their jobs back and had to be given their jobs with back pay after this man fired them, had Doge fire them? So what he's threatening, you know, the unfortunate thing about when you behave the way he behaves is you kick in the door and you come in with the big guns right off the rip. And now it leaves little room for you to do anything else. So, there's going to be mass firings. But you've already done that, sir. You've already done that. And they're going to sue you in court, and the court is going to say you got to give these people their job back. So stop with the intimidation tactic. Charles Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, I have the unfortunate luck of both of the top Democrats being from my state. Downstate at that. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Stay focused. Hold the line.
Guys, this is really sad, considering the fact that people that did not even F around are now finding out. Like, I don't even understand. This move will have massive consequences, and the consequences outweigh the benefit. Because this looks like, I don't even know how to explain it, because now they are facing new reality. Their jobs, their identity, their security is gonna be wiped away if this political battle, because I see it as a political battle between the Democrats and the Republicans, if this political battle does not work out, this is going to have real consequences, and lives are on the line. Massive losses of sources of livelihood are on the line. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to hear from you, and I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.